Hello, this is Bowblax here, and we're back for more of The Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. In the last episode, we started off Deepwood Shrine, and in this episode, we're going to find out what is in this chest. And it is the Gust jar. This is the first item of the game. Typically, you get an item in each dungeon. There is a few exceptions to this along your adventure, but usually you get an item per dungeon. If you go into your menu, right here, there's all the items. As you can see, there will be quite a bit in our adventure. Something I really don't like about this game is that you have to replace either your sword or your shield for the Gust jar or any other future item. You only can have 2 items equipped at once, and the sword and shield count as an equipped item. In past games, the sword and shield were automatic, and items had their own item slot, and typically they had 3 slots. So basically what they're doing is they are pretty much like taking away all item slots, because including the sword and shield, which are automatic, there was 5 items that you could have at a time. This one there's only 2. So it sucks. Anyways, now to actually see what the Gust jar does. The Gust jar takes away webs as well as little patches of dust, and it will do various other things that we will find out later in this temple. It's a pretty neat and nifty item. It isn't used too much later in the game, but it is pretty cool. And also you can use it against certain enemies, like previously these undefeatable puff stools can now lose their puff, which is the only thing that protects them, and we can kill them. Also, we can kill them with pots, so that is nice. And we can take away dust to reveal switches with stuff in them, and we got 10 mysterious shells. Mysterious shells are for a certain side quest in the game, which I will get to you at a later date, or will mention or explain at a later date. And yeah. So, something really important right here is that you want to unleash this switch right here. This is very important if you want to do 100% the game or make the game a lot easier. So yes, be sure to press that. Also be sure to get that heart piece back in that other room. But, now that we have the Gust jar, we can take away this web in the barrel and rotate the barrel a bit, and go down here. And now this is another use of the Gust jar, which I think is pretty interesting. Basically, you can pull this lily pad in, and now what? Unless we find a way to travel by water, we won't be going much farther. Yes, Elzo. Anyways, if we just tap, like not hold down the A button, but if we tap the A button, we can shoot a little bit of Gust and propel ourselves further. Now let me explain the Gust jar a bit more. Basically, the Gust jar has 2 functionalities. One is sucking stuff in. It gets more powerful, which the longer you suck it in. The highest level is the red level, and when you unleash it, you gust out stuff. If you have nothing that has been sucked in, you will just put out a gust, which I'm doing right now, and it can do various things like propel you places and crap and stuff. Now I want to take this moment to talk about Elzo, not Elzo. Elzo is probably my favorite side character in Zelda. As you may not know, ever since the start of Ocarina of Time, there's always been like a side companion in Zelda games. Ocarina of Time being the first game to have this was Navi. Majora's Mask had Tattle. Wind Waker had the Red King Lion Great Boat thingamajigger. And Minish Cap had Elzo. And I like Elzo's personality a lot. He's always on your head, so he can like make like little jokes about like being a hat and stuff. And he's very charming, and and he's much more helpful than any other guide I find in the Zelda series. I really like Elzo a lot. It's just my opinion, but you know. Anyway, actually, in the comments below, I would like to hear your opinion on side characters in Zelda games. What was your favorite Zelda game with a side character? Is it like Midna from Twilight Princess or Navi from Ocarina of Time? Like, I'd like to hear your opinions on it. My personal favorite, again, is Ezlo. If you haven't heard me for the last few minutes, like you went like deaf for like the last few minutes or something. I don't know. Speaking of deafness and YouTube, do any deaf people like actually watch YouTube videos? Because I know YouTube subtitles are awful, so I feel bad for any deaf person who legitimately tries to watch YouTube videos with the subtitles. For my videos, it's probably like Pizza Burger, Burger Destiny, Zelda, Leslo Pizza Corporated. It's like nothing would make sense to him. Jeez. It's like you were a deaf baby from the start and you didn't know, and people like watched YouTube videos with subtitles and you saw the subtitles. Well, no, this wouldn't make any sense because if you were a baby, you wouldn't be able to read. But it's like you learned how to like read and you like based humanity off like YouTube subtitles. Oh, that would just be, you'd just be a mess of a person, no offense, but oh god, that'd be horrible. I couldn't imagine. Anyways, with the Gust Star, you can also pull in mushrooms, so that is a thing. And right here, we get the big key, which is basically the key that unlocks the last key in the dungeon, which unlocks the boss. So yes. Anyways, last episode, oh no, this episode, actually the beginning of this episode, I told you guys that it was important to press that switch. That switch made this blue teleporter appear up to here to get another piece of heart. And getting this piece of heart will make us have an entirely new container. So now we'll have 4 hearts to beat the boss instead of 3, which is very, very helpful. So yes. So right here, we are pretty much at the end of the dungeon. All we have to do is basically take away the web on the right door in the entrance and go over there. I only went up here to get 20 rubies or rupees because I felt like it. So now we are going to go up to the boss, and this is Minish Cap has my favorite bosses probably in Zelda, just because of how great they are. Like, it has to do with the theming of this game. I just love the fact that you can like be small or something. It's like, I love Pikmin, I love this game. It's like, it's weird. I just like small things. I don't know. Anyways, right here's the boss. So let's go inside and see what it is. So, 2 episodes back, I said this green shoe was the most common and easiest enemy in Minish Cap. Well, now he is the boss, except we are fighting him in Minish form, so he'll be much harder to beat. Which I think they'll do this in future Minish dungeons. Not all the dungeons, as I said before, are Minish. But, yeah. Basically what you have to do is, Gust jar his, legs, or his goo base, if you will. And then he will topple over once he has barely any base left. And you can go and attack him. And he looks so dumb. He looks like a dead fish who's just like, ooh! He like just came to land and he's like flopping around. Just like, oh my god. This is just a great boss. It's really easy, but it's just really cool. Also, it's really easy to figure out what to do. What I don't like about Zelda bosses sometimes is that it's really hard to find out what to do. An example of this is the boss of the first dungeon in Wind Waker. It was really hard for me to figure out what to do. Once you know what to do, it's easy, of course. But figuring out what to do is always what I'm afraid of when I go into any boss fight, especially Zelda ones. And this one is just so easy to comprehend. Like, of course you know it's from an item from the dungeon. But, like, I think, like, 2D Zeldas in general have, like, easier bosses because it's easier to figure out what to do. Because you just, like, you know, like, use item that you got from dungeon. But, in, like, 3D Zeldas, you have to, like, use it in a certain way and stuff, and it's just annoying. So that's another thing I really like about the Minish Cap bosses. But anyways, now that we've beaten the boss, we've got our first element, which is the Earth element. You got the Earth element. The power of the Earth is the source of all living things. The Earth element is the embodiment of that power. So now that we've beaten the boss, we get a heart container, which is basically 4 heart pieces. And it will automatically add a heart to your meter, regardless of how many heart pieces you have. Your life energy has been increased and has been replenished. Yeah, it also gets replenished. Anyways, now we can take the green teleporter out of the dungeon. We've got the Earth element. You must go tell the Elder at once. So let's go do that. Wait. So, you know, walking. Stunning commentary, you know. 10 out of 10. I don't know, it's just boring to get to him. So, you found the Earth element. You are blessed with much courage and strength for one so young. If your conviction holds strong, head to Mount Surinal. There you will find a man named Malari. Among all Minish, there is no one more able to repair your sword if you ask him. He will surely reforge the broken Precary blade. I shall send word to him in advance. Travel safely. You are brave, but there are many evils now in the world. Leave through this door here. It will take you out of the forest quickly. Great Elder, we are in your debt. We shall head to Mount Surinal at once. And I kind of like how the Minish tail looks. It looks kind of like Tails the Fox from Sonic the Hedgehog, except better! Yay! But anyways, now that we have finished the Earth Temple, and we are well on our way to the next area of the game to get the next element, that will be enough for this episode. In the next episode, we will go and try to find our way to Mount Surinal. Also, if you like this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content, Minish Cap as well as other Let's Plays I will be doing. Anyways, I've been Bowblax, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!